his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he'll appear in the reflection behind you. Say whose name? Candyman. Hey there, I'm Wit, and I hope you enjoyed that little introduction inspired by the movie that I will be reviewing today. And that movie is Candyman, directed by Nia DaCosta. So this film is described as being a spiritual sequel to the 1992 original, and it definitely expanded on some of the darker and heavier themes that were brought up in that original in this film. So this is obviously a horror film, and as I began watching, I realized that this is not a horror film that depended on jump scares. It's funny because I am that person that once I start to sense that a jump scare is approaching, there is this thing that movies do and there's tension, there's like an eerie feeling, there's a very quiet pace that happens and you're just like, okay, it's about to come now. And I realized that while watching this movie, when I realized that it did not depend on jump scares, I didn't have to do that. I found myself kind of like retracting to that way of thinking, and I was kind of like bracing for impact, getting ready to like what's about to happen, and then I started to like chill and I was just like, oh wait, like this is not a horror movie that is depending on jump scares. And I would just like relax, and then sure enough that scary thing would happen, but it would happen in the most like subtle but still kind of like horrifying way, and I really appreciated that. One thing that I really loved the most about this movie was the use of shadow puppetry. It was just such a beautiful art form to see used in this story, and I feel like that's not something you see a lot of in America. I felt like the use of the puppetry fit the vibe of the film so well because it was a very artistic film. From the cinematography to the set designs to the score to the fact that the main characters were an artist and an art curator to Tiana Paris's character, from her hair to her makeup to her wardrobe was just the pure definition of Black girl artistry, and I really love that. And I say all that basically to further bring home the point that I thought using shadow puppetry as another performance art in this film to tell a story was brilliant and beautiful and even eerie at moments, and I hope we see more of that. So I mentioned earlier that this movie basically expanded on a lot of the themes that were presented in the original film, and it definitely does that, even down to trying to understand who Candyman is and why and who he represents. And I thought it was a really unique and deep way to kind of speak about and bring up racial injustice. So if you are interested in seeing this film, I do suggest watching the original. You can watch that free on Tubi.com. It's not necessarily a requirement to watch before this film because they do a good job of recapping what was in that movie, mainly using shadow puppetry, which I loved. But because it is free online, and there are some things that from the original connect to the sequel that come into play that may help knowing before you go in. So that is it for this review. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I want to start doing this more often. I do watch a lot of movies, so it just makes sense to just pop on here and do a quick little review to tell you what I think. So if you like this and you want to see what else I have going on here, which could be a whole range of things, go ahead and like and subscribe and check in, and thanks for watching. Bye.